So today in our Youth Sports Report, we take a look at some of the results from this weekend's fixtures, with many Gauteng and KZN games being called off because of terrible weather, and most of our Premier action taking place in the Western Cape. Paul Boys High bounced back from their loss at the hands of Otanikwa when they defeated Bishops 22-18 in a fiercely contested affair in Rondebosch on Saturday. Otanikwa continued their unbelievable season with a thunderous 71-3 win over Punt. Paul Gymnasium, well, they walked all over Tygerberg 55-3 in yet another dominant display from the nations. Well, we're going to call them the second best team at this stage of the season, whilst Wynberg came undone at the hands of Boeland Landbou, losing that match 27-37 in the end. Then from the Western Cape, Paul Roos travelled to Port Elizabeth. Now, Cambridge would lose their close encounter with Graham College 19-13. That is, Queen's College held out for a hard-fought victory against Dale College. 6-0 the final score in that war of attrition. Then Grey High continued their impressive season when they defeated Paul Roos 23-18. Paul Roos in a very, well, unfamiliar position at this stage of the season. Then over in KZN, Glenwood shocked Michael House with a 36-5 win, whilst Hilton College claimed the scalp of Northwood, defeating their neighbours 24-14. Then finally, Grey College's defence was impeccable as the lads from Bloem got one over Louis Botha in emphatic style, 43-0 in that fixture. Noordkaap marched on to a hard-fought victory over Diamantveld 27-19, and in Gauteng, Garsfontein won their match up against Transvalia as Nelspruit put 45 points past Marais Viljoen in their Saturday afternoon clash. All I've got to say is, keep providing those thunderous clashes, guys. The schoolboy rugby has not disappointed. But of course, our eyes turn to UEFA Champions League glory tonight and possibly seeing one of the best players in the world in action.
Expresso Youth Sport, brought to you by Deep Heat. Warms pain away.
Welcome back after that very long hiatus. Brother, good to see you. I'm going to shake your hand again, man. Ryan, great to have you back here. Before we talk UEFA, you're looking really fit, man. New developments in the life of Ryan Botha, bro.
Things are going well, bro. Definitely. Nice little fitness center. Come check it out. Keep you fit.
I'm going to need it, man. After doing CrossFit for J9 Foundation on Sunday, I'm hurting, man. I need a little extra work going into winter. Good to see you, man. You must be excited about tonight. Man United, I think, sealed the deal last night, so we can leave the Premiership now.
Unfortunately,
it's wrapped up.
But yeah.
We're looking for a place in Europe for next year's UEFA Champions League, but we cannot get past the fact that tonight we're going to see two of the best sides in Europe in action. Bayern Munich, they've had almost a dream run coming into the semi-finals.
You know, Bayern's been consistent every season, and this year they've been fantastic. They've built up such a strong team. Their wingers, pace, skill, you can't ask for more. You know, the service is unbelievable. But Barca, I think, you know, it's two different styles of football. Bayern keep the ball down the wing, Barca play to the centre, small passes, quick movements. It's going to be an unbelievable game to watch.
Now, Javi hit the nail on the head. He said, we have won games before without Messi, but doesn't seem particularly hopeful. Now, we haven't seen Messi in, I think, nearly a fortnight now. He's come on as a substitute to save them in the Serie A. He's been absolutely necessary throughout this season. Can they do it without him if that hamstring comes into play tonight?
You've seen how important he is to them. He comes on, he changes the game. Now, against a team like Bayern, they're not going to take prisoners. A mistake will get punished. If you don't have Messi up front to take their mistakes, I don't know. I think it's going to be an exciting game.
Now, the only successful teams against Barcelona have, I keep wanting to say Barcelona, I'm in the spirit of it, they have had to keep the ball. That's pretty much the only way that you can starve a team like Barcelona, is prevent them getting possession. Out of all of the teams that they've come up against this season, I would say Bayern are probably the only team that would be able to keep that kind of play, mainly due to the pace that they have.
Exactly, that's the thing. They attack with pace, you know. I mean, Robin came on the game a couple of weeks back, and he was on the bench, and he came on, and it wasn't like they lost anything. He had the exact same pace. He changed the game. He's got skill. He tacks. He goes into the areas. He forces a tackle. He drops quickly. You know, he's a dangerous man to have in your box. So they keep the ball for long periods, but they attack at such pace, and that's their biggest attribute, definitely.
When you look at the history of these two teams together, you've never seen one side absolutely dominate the other.
No.
If I had to ask for the sentimental vote, who would you say has got this one in the bag?
You know, it's going to be difficult. I'm thinking I'm going to go with Bayern, though, to be honest with you. I just think they've been knocking on the door now for a while to win it. And I just think that it's there. It's there for them, you know. Barca not a full at their full capacity right now. Messi's struggling, fitness-wise. I just think it's a better man would put money on Bayern.
Bayern, yeah, especially if Messi's out of the fold. But I
especially
think they might
Messi.
keep him on that bench regardless of whatever injury. And then moving one night forwards, Borussia Dortmund, another German side that has had a fantastic season, probably pushed a little bit harder than Bayern this year, up against Real Madrid and our other potential player of the year. Where do you see that one going?
I'd probably go with Real, but you know it's difficult because Real struggling against PSG. They weren't convincing. Yes, PSG have built a strong team. They've put a lot of money into the club. But, you know, you would expect a club like Real to dominate, really, and they didn't. So you would go with Real initially on your gut,
on paper,
you know, but it's a tough one.
And the German league has just been so
Look at
unbelievably
it. 2 Spanish teams, 2 German, you know, it's changing.
It would be great to see Germany kind of play to that standard in Europe as well.
Seeing a German final. Can you imagine?
Dortmund final.
Can you imagine seeing a German final?
Word. So what do we do here? When we look at first leg and second leg in the semi-finals, I think a lot of teams came undone last year by putting too much stock in that away goal. Yeah. Can you afford to not get a win in the first leg?
Being away from home...
Certainly at Bayern.
Yeah. You know, Bayern's a tough team to beat, so I mean, anywhere actually. So I think away goal in both games will be important. I must be honest with you. I think the games will be close, and I think that away goal could be important, could come into effect.
I'm going to put my head on the block and say that we might end up seeing an all-German final. It might just be something interesting.
I don't think it'll be that far from the truth, to be honest. I think it's a good bet.
All right, well, we'll see you again next week to see if our predictions meant anything. Brother, thank you very much for coming through. Always awesome to speak to you, man. Go get back to German, man. Go get back to It's not a competition, Ryan. It's not a competition. Now, we'd love to know what your thoughts are on the first leg of the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. It kicks off tonight in earnest, a mouth-watering fixture. Will Lionel Messi be in action? That remains to be seen. But wherever your allegiance lies, oh, man, enjoy it. And once again, we have to say, well done to Man United and Sir Alex Ferguson. I know, Cape Town is buzzing this morning, man. All right, we're going to continue with a crazy Tuesday morning. We got the Guguletu tenors in the house. You want to stay tuned for this one. They sound amazing.